Hi guys, this is my first time taking on one of the master level bots, Noam, 2200, a veteran player who can tell you stories about his clashes with the stars of the past. In the present, he plays very solidly, so be prepared for a long fight. Alright, black and white challenge match. Let's go, Noam. See, I normally play this, but I know it's not the best, so I'm going to try and just play solid. See if he goes for a Queen's Gambit. He does. I'm not going to accept. I don't know the theory for Queen's Gambit accepted, and often you can get a little bit steamrolled. You don't know what you're doing there. I think it's safer, if you don't know what you're doing, to just develop, defend the pawn in the center. Okay. We get a knight into the center of the board. It's okay, but they take the full center with tempo. Yeah, if here they... I'm not sure I've played this the best. Then they get to hit the knight. What if here? If take, I ruin their castling rights. They have doubled pawns. If I hit the queen, they just get to develop with more tempo. I really hate my position. I might try that. Yeah, they don't like it. They didn't like me taking the queen and ruining their castling. So, do I take? Let's take. And then this, if they capture me, I could take the queen, but then I'd have to recapture, and then I'd get double isolated pawns. So, maybe just here. But if here, there's this check, and then I can defend the knight, but then they can take, hit my queen, and after takes, they can recapture. I don't think this works. What about this, though? Just putting pressure on the center. Okay, offering a queen trade. I'm going to accept it. And now I can win this, but they've got this fork looming. What if check? They could go like that. They can still castle because they're recaptured with the knight. If I throw in this check and say this, at least it stops them castling. And actually, in that case, I'd have this check as well. But then they're still threatening this at the end. If this here takes, and here, how do I actually defend this square? You know what, let's just play solid. Let's just defend it with the bishop, get my pieces out. So they're trying to remove the defender of this square. If here, or just develop like this, just overprotect the square. Or even just king here. I think knight to the edge is fine though. Let's overprotect. Take towards the center. Should be okay. I'm still targeting this pawn. I think they'll defend it now. Still not defending it, but I can kick the... Ooh, if I can kick the knight, but they get this, but... I'm not too worried, I don't think. Ah, and they finally protect this pawn. Okay. So we're what? We're even on material. I mean, if they take me, I take them. Although, they could throw in check and then capture this. So, I do have to move my knight. So I think here. I think my knight's fairly safe there. They're trying to trade the knight. Now, if they take, I take, I get... These become double isolated pawns, guys. And this in the center becomes very weak. So, I'm inclined to trade for that reason. Still need to... Do I need to cover that square still? I don't think I do. I'll take this, and then I can put the knight out here. And they can't pivot back and threaten this. Yeah, there's no fork anymore. So the knight can come off the edge of the board. So we just push. Nullifying the effect of this rook. So they're going to go like this, I think. Kick my knight. Oh, how do I get my pieces out, guys? This and this, honestly, that king move looks quite strong. It's going after the pawn, but it looks a little bit silly. If here, they just wreck my structure by capturing the bishop. If bishop here, it just looks a little bit slow. I want this square, I think, for my knight. When they push. Oh, but they get this. They threaten that first. Ah, they're all over me now. This, though. Yeah. Ah. I think I've lost. Maybe not, though. Let's try this. This is a doubled pawn, you know? We don't need to stress out too much about it. Hit the rook, defend. They hit my knight. They don't. Okay, so now we've got time to defend this if we want. Right. If here. Still get this pawn at the end of it. So do I go rook here? Defend the pawn. Still pressure here. Okay, this is tough, right? Getting into an endgame. We want king activity. We want centralization of the knight. If takes, they get my rook. So we'd have to take away from the center, which is a bit uncomfortable. Or we just push. I think we push and then reinforce. They give a check. Here, have they got any more checks? I want to go this way. Well, maybe go that way. But this stops them coming here. If this way... If here they come in with check, I take. Actually, I could go to any of these three squares, I think. Which one's better? They've also got this check if I go to the light square. So it's one of these dark squares. Where do I go, guys? I hope you're all well. So it's been a while since I've had one of these high-level bots where I've had to go like deep in the calc bank. But yeah, hope you're enjoying. Hope you're learning stuff. So here, and I've got this guy commenting on my videos now. He's like a 2200 or something. So good to get his feedback every game. This. I don't know. Maybe this is more central. Just flipping a coin there, guys. With which one was better. If this now, we lose this pawn. If this, they can repeat. They don't want to repeat. So if we move this knight, we cover this square twice. And therefore the knight can't come and pester my king anymore. This looks good now. We're also threatening this. Check. If this, my position looks okay, right? Let's try it. Gets rid of the double pawns. So they've got double pressure on this square here. If this, though, there's also this check, but after this, not sure what we get. But if here, that looks spicy. Oh, we still get double pawns at the end, though. Unless, check, we win this pawn, maybe. There's also this idea of getting a check on that square. We accept the double pawns. That is covered. For this, or I like the possibility of this check. We've got to remove this pawn here. Check, win the pawn. I think we'd be winning in that case. Let's try it. So this no longer winning. It's not a check, but it still targets the pawn. It still might be the best move. Let's try it. They just bring a rook and defend, I guess. Or this rook. So if here, hitting the knight, trying to remove the defender of this. So we could sack the rook here and get a pawn out of it. Sack the exchange in order to win the exchange and win a pawn. This, here, here, take, here, take. That actually looks really nice. Oh, but there's a pin. Oh no. Yeah, I jumped to conclusions a little bit on that. But even if I didn't win the exchange, it still looked okay for me. Just having a knight against two rooks. I think my thinking is slightly influenced by the fact that online, you'd have massive chances of getting a fork. But I'm forgetting that I'm not online. I'm playing a bot. And I don't think the bot is going to let me fork him. So if this, going after like matey ideas, if check here and here I'd be able to get the knight in, but if here, I don't think I've got anything. But the king is a little bit stuck in the corner with this pawn, so just making a note. And then, what do we think, guys? That just pins the knight with this rook. This just looks super passive. This pawn is defended, actually, so... What about that? They're threatening this check, so maybe this is the best move. I don't like to play it, though. It can't be best. Oh, no, that's fine because of the pin. So maybe we threaten some check. They're attacking the pin piece. We got anything here? There's this. Going after the rook, but they just give a check. And it's over. Yeah, nothing to be done, guys. Pin piece getting attacked. I knew it was bad pinning my own knight, but I didn't really know what to do. Let's analyze that one. 2 mistakes, 0 blunders. Alright, not too bad. So I'd never play this d4, d5. I always play Sicilian against everything. I just go like that, and if they take, I go like this. I know it's not Sicilian, but... That was best. I really hated this. The pawn maybe coming. And that was best. Nice. And this knight was so annoying. It's the looming pressure of it. And the whole game, I was just calculating, is there a knight fork? Which wasted a lot of my energy. This was bad. Should have reinforced here, given them this pawn. Because if we give them that pawn, the knight's not quite trapped, is it? But we do bring the knight back. Push as the engine likes. Okay, and this I thought was okay, but then this, they redoubled my pawns. I think that was bad, guys, because we never have the chance to reconnect the structure. You know, it permanently disconnects the pawns. Because if there's en passant. And then you can't reconnect like that. And here, yeah, that was the error, wasn't it? Not seeing the pin. And that was an awful move. Let's try it again. How long have I got? I've got like half an hour. Okay. I'm playing golf after this, guys. Me and my dad have started playing golf as like father-son bonding activity. Ruy Lopez. Wow, what's this little King's Gambit thing? The Janish Gambit. Wow. So there's this this, but then they go queen here and win the pawn. But if we take here, maybe they go like that. If we take this though, then we can put our knight in the center maybe. If we put our knight here and then go check, that'd be a plan. Definitely. Because if here we can sack the knight, and if this we take the rook, or we could just take the pawn. But have they got something really naughty here? Hence, like, why this is a gambit. I feel like this is too good to be true, this idea. Check. Ah, but now the bishop covers. Yeah, let's try it. It doesn't work, but it's cool. Is it cool? I don't know if it is now. Because now pieces look a bit clumsy. If this takes, there's some double isolated pawns, but it's not good enough. Alright, this is a bit tactical, but if this and they take off on, wherever I go is a revealed attack, but then the pawn can actually just take. So, seems a bit unnecessary. Maybe this. Hit the bishop. And we are slightly underdeveloped now. Bring another piece out. It's always just safer. Keep developing. Alright, so now at least we're castled, but we probably don't want to push on the side of the board that they're trying to crack on. Opposite side castling. We should try and attack. Let's take that bishop off the board. Reinforce here. They've got an open file to attack on. Actually, their position looks pretty nice. If this, just trying to open up my rook. I think we're already too slow to start opposite side attack it. I think we've just got to defend. This. Try trade some pieces maybe. If this takes. Doesn't that work? I don't see why not, guys. Have they got a check though? Ooh. Yeah. We have nabbed a pawn. We can just go back here, cover up. And they've just got so many open lines right now. I know we're up a pawn, but this isn't going to feel like we're winning for a very long time. Hit the queen. Tempo-y. Queen can probably create a threat though, so it's not a true gain of tempo. Because queen can slide over and threaten mate. Ah well, let's try it. What? Takes. They threaten mate. We give checkmate. Takes. They threaten mate here. We still give checkmate. Takes. We take the queen. Guys, what am I missing here? Check. Take. If check, I can just go here though. And then after I've taken, so takes, check, here, and their queen's still hanging. So if they recapture, I recapture. You know what? Let's go for it. It looks good. But surely not. It can't be good. They give away the queen there. But if we take with the rook, don't we take the knight at the end? No, this is fine, isn't it? Oh, they take that way. And they're threatening this, but we're still just winning. What? We nabbed a rook. They nabbed a knight, so we're up the exchange. Then after takes, we're up the exchange, and we were up a pawn before, so that's cheeky. It's the definition of cheek. We've got this. They take. We're up a whole piece against the 2200. I've heard a few people in the Discord server saying they've beaten Noam. And I did think, yeah, maybe he's not the hardest. 2200. I don't know. Like, I swear some of the 2000s have felt way harder than this. He's just given me that. I don't get it. So if this here takes, I don't know what they've got. I'm like starting to question myself. This is nice. It stops the bishop coming and taking advantage of this alignment issue. If this just trying to trade pieces now, surely I really don't see what they've got. Their pieces aren't even very active. If this, it does correct their structure. To be fair. But I'm still going to do it, you know. Oh, they don't even correct their structure. Okay. If this, that looks absolutely awful for them. What? Also bringing the king just to bring a rook. And if we do bring the king and this hitting the rook, we've got this. And the knight is pinned and they've not got a check. They've got this check, but we take. And this check and we take, right? I think we could just bring the king. Try and trade the rooks. If this, I did look at this, but this here, maybe slide over, try bring the other rook and try and give mate. Well, it'd always be a pinned knight, wouldn't it? I mean, surely that's winning as well. This. I know it's a bit slow, hence why I ruled it out, but over, they could come in, but this is coming. Could even do a luff move, give away these pawns, surely we're going to win the knight. But actually, this just seems simpler. If this here, we pin, check, take. This just seems simpler, guys. I know it's probably not as good as bringing the rook in, but I'm going to go for this. And then double the rooks. Cheeky. Try and get our rooks in on the, what do you call it, 7th. So here, no, I'm calling you bluff. I don't think you've got anything. What is going on? They don't trade. We can do this. We can also go after this pawn and start to double the rooks on the 7th. Don't see why not. If this, they get this check, but we slide over and they've got nothing. They've got this check because this pawn is pinned. To stop this check, if we go like that and just kick the knight out first, and then we'll try and get the rooks doubled. Kick. Ask him where he's going to go. Okay. And now if this, just stopping the pawn, hitting the rook. Super methodical now, guys. Just trying not to do anything silly. Yeah, offering a trade of the rooks. Don't see why not. This square better or is this square better? Yeah. I don't see what they do. This might be a little bit of a slower endgame to win, but no, so we get in, and that should be devastating. So here, they get one check if they want it, but we're just coming in. Oh, they defend. Oh. Okay. Here? Oh, guys. I don't have the brain energy. Right. Here, they go like that. Check. Here. They go this check. Here. They go... They've not got any more checks, right? Hopefully. Maybe I could have double checked that, but I didn't want to. So here. I think we're fine. And what do they do now? I'm just coming in. This? Doesn't that force a trade? Have they got any checks? No. This, they have to trade the rook. They've not got any checks for the knight. Not got any checks for the rook. I'm happy. Okay, nice. So now we can just push this pawn, I think. Just always checking for forks. And also, do we defend this pawn here? Might be wise too. I don't think this knight has any good jumps, really. So this... hitting the knight. Almost trapped. This knight hasn't got any jumps. It's got this. Hitting the rook. With this back here. So the knight's going to hit the rook, but I'm just going to take this pawn. Happy to trade. And then... do we stop this at all? Not really. Let's take the pawn. I'd love to just lock their knight in the corner, but I don't think it's going to happen. This or this. This, they get checks. So this, they don't have... not checks, sorry. Hits on my rook. If this, they can still hit my rook. If here, though, there's no hit on the rook. We protect the pawns. We cut their king off. We're looking happy. There's this, but don't see what it does. We hit the knight. I hate these endgames, guys, especially against computers. It's just permanently scanning for forks over and over again. But gotta be done sometimes. Wait, takes. I'd love to sack, but it doesn't work. They promote too quick. There we push. This, they've got this check. We come up. Coming up with the king. All the way in. If this... I don't know what they do. How do they stop me promoting? I guess they come here, but I can maybe sack the rook for the knight. If here... wait. Rook here, they've got this check. If just this... alright, if this, and they take, don't I get check? And just deflects the king away from the defense of the knight. Check. And can't block with a knight, right? Aha! I calculated something, guys. Okay. Alright, so now we just push this pawn. And we can sack the rook at our leisure. Got that bad boy knight off the board. It was extremely annoying. And this guy comes up very happy. And you know what? I'm going to actually just sack the rook and practice my technique that I got wrong the other day with king and queen mate. I had this exact position with like 10 seconds on the clock, and I messed it up, guys. Really annoyed with myself. So, put the king off. Queen here. Or here. So they're trying to get them in a box. Alright, so we've got them in that box, and it's just And then we just boomerang around like this, and then this. I just messed it up the other day. They've got this square. They've got this square. Just checking for stalemates. But I'm sure you can do this and there's no stalemate. I'm just double checking everything. Yeah, you can pre-move all that, guys. So that's how you beat Noam. Actually, I think he's a little bit overrated. I don't think he played like a 2200 if I'm honest. But cheers, Noam. Good game. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed that, guys. Link in description if you want to book chess lessons. And cheers. See you next time.